Rube Goldberg's simple way to put out the lights. When you pull up the covers, that drops a needle, which pops a balloon, blowing fire near the cat, and the scared cat jumps, falls in the water, splashing the water into the cup, which gets heavy, closes the scissors, cuts the string, drops the ball, fires the cannon, and turns off the lights. Simple. And that gives me an idea. Okay, STEM friends, here's the plan for Rube Goldberg device day 2. We're going to start over here on table 1 and follow those dominoes. Knock the ball off the table, and the ball is connected to a string that's connected to the pirate plank. So when the wiffle ball falls, it's going to lift the lever behind the wrecking ball, which crashes. Of course, that'll be connected there. How do you set it back up again? To reset the wrecking ball, you need to come over to the wiffle ball first and lift it up on the table. And then you'll be able to reset the pirate plank. And then finally reset the wrecking ball. It's hard to see, but make sure this black string here is not tangled up. To set this back up again, I've taped this here on purpose so it is easy to reset. And the way we do this is you're going to wrap this. We want it to go this way, so you wind it up the other way. 1, 2, 3 times. And you know it's 3 because you see the 3 stripes there, right? And then you're going to set the ball right there. And I also have set this up with tape, so all you have to do is just lift it back up again. And then these stand. The ball's not very strong, so you need this to be right on the edge. So make sure it's just about to tip. That's not going to work. You really need it to be just about to go. And then we continue on. Here we have our bucket where we'll put the balloon with the surprise inside. Up above that, we have our double snake bite. It's a bunch of needles. And when the balloon gets pulled up there, boom. And then, by the way, I thought it would be cool to have the projects we made this year laying out on the tables, but I forgot about having to spray everything. How about we just put those things in the red buckets under the table at the end of class so we can spray the table without getting our projects wet? And then, okay, slinky sounds. This one, you'll see the slinky is just resting on that platform there, and the platform is being held by this, and we're gonna just hit it and twist it, see what happens. Makes the cool Star Wars sound there. And to reset this one, we're going to put this twister here just barely on the corner right there. And then pick the slinky up right there. And it likes to wobble a lot. So you want to get the bucket here steady. There we go. And then when you set the dominoes up, just make sure that as they pass through, they bonk into this forward, which makes this go backward, which releases the slinky there. Okay, and then over here to the split. This one's going to touch those two at the same time, and split. So the one on the right goes to the heavy bucket. Okay, update on the last table here. The bucket now has been replaced and you only need one block in there. And you're just gonna set it, not on the very edge, but just near the edge of the table. So a little white is sticking out here. And this block is holding it on. And so as these come through, it knocks that over and releases the bucket, okay? To reset this, you need to put the block back first. And I put the block near the end here, so it's barely on there. And the important part is you want this block not to fall on top of the platform here, because that will block it. So instead, you want this block to be over here, like this. So when it falls, it clears this, which allows it to go the other way. So when you reset it, just one there, and this one a little bit over, and then you can pick this up and put it back on there with only one block in there. That is going to be where our balloon is connected. Okay. At the same time, this block hits those two and it hits the ball, which of course, boom, turns out the lights. Table 11 is the one closest to the light switch. After our first run, table 11 is gonna walk all the way back over to table 1, and table 1 will go to the next table and everybody else will move down one table. And we'll do this every time we do a new dominoes run. Quick review from the end here. Set the block on the end so the ball knocks it in. Hang the bucket on the lights. Set the ball. Make sure the ball is hanging off the edge actually a little bit right here. So when the block falls, it'll actually hit it. For the slinky, we just set the very corner of this little spinner here. Right there, lever. Make sure these are lined up to push it all forward. And this one will have that bucket. I'll put the balloon in there. This table will be in charge of picking up the little confetti and putting it back in the container so we can reuse it. The block is already on the edge there, and we're just gonna line those up. This ball just sits on top of the tube there. And how do we know this has been wrapped 3 times? Because you'll see 1, 2, 3 stripes. Make sure you wrap it the right way. I always get confused, so I always go, okay, I want it to go this way, so I'm going to wrap it the other way. Now that's interesting. Our tape roll just came undone. I guess I gotta work on that one. And this, we want the L to look like the letter L here, pointing out so it'll knock over easily. This will not be knocked over because this is in the way, like an L. Okay, and then we take our wrecking ball. All right, I went ahead and put an X right there to match those up. And then this one, the ball just goes right there on the edge of the table. So I added a tape roll for weight and the pipe cleaner here to connect it with the wiffle ball. So now we have the wiffle bunny. Woo! And then these line up. Get a squirt of hand sanitizer, both hands of course. And then as you walk in, if you're first person in line, we're gonna walk all the way to the back. Okay, same as last time. You'll stay at one table with a partner and we'll let it run. But after we let it run, we'll switch tables. So you'll get a chance to work at a different station each time. We're not gonna climb over tables. We're not gonna climb under tables. We're not even going to sit. We're going to minimize touching things. So we're going to be extra safe during the pandemic. Notice the table looks a little messy. That's just how it is with the spray. I don't have time to wipe everything down between classes, but it's gonna be clean, which is great. So your job with your team, whoever you're working with at your table, is to put the blocks in a line from one side of the table to the other and connect as a class team all the way to the end. If you put them too far apart, they miss each other. If you put them too close together, you run out of blocks before you get to the other side of the table going long ways. So a good trick for this is to use one of the blocks. If you lay it down on its side, it tells you the space that you need between the blocks. When you're making a turn, the corners here are a bit tricky, and so I would put them a little bit closer together in the areas where you have to make a turn, and then back to the spacing in the areas where you're going straight. So remember, around the turns, you want them a little bit closer together. Setting it up apart from each other so they can be sprayed easily, but also so they can not knock everything down when we don't want them to. Also, please don't set them like this or like this, because I can't spray enough of the block. This is the best way to stand them up, so I get most of the block. This is an exciting event, and it's okay. In fact, it's great to be excited, but please, no screaming, no running. In fact, you're just gonna stay at the table to where you are, and you're gonna work with that group, and together we will hopefully get the lights to turn off. And we have a limited amount of time, so we need to work quickly. We wanna be successful, so please remember, no blame game. Let's find the problem and fix it. The watching wall is in effect. If someone breaks a rule, you sit out for 2 minutes, and then come back and join us. If that doesn't work, you know the rest. If the whole group is being too loud, then we can all line up and head back to our regular classroom. So please be respectful of the noise and of the safety and the rules. Can you turn out the lights?